All right, now I see a lot of people getting mixed up here too in my DMs, like, dude, my solder won't flow. Why does my bezel keep melting, et cetera, et cetera. So if you get your bezel on your back plate, I have a bigger back plate here because I'm gonna be doing more with this, just stay tuned. You can actually look in the inside here, and I've done what's called chip soldered. So I've just cut off some pieces from this wire solder that I normally use. I normally stick solder. It's a lot faster, it's a little more efficient for me, just because I normally make a lot of pieces at the same time. It takes a long time to get each one of these chips in place, and what you're gonna see is that liquid that you see there is the flux. I use a liquid flux. And you cut off pieces, you get it in place, and then when you go to crystallize your flux, you can see those dance around. Sometimes they will stay in place, but you see that top one there, it actually bounced off of that seam. And so then you gotta go and make sure that that is actually pushed into place where it needs to be. And what you'll see happen is people will sit here and try to heat this up, and they're like, oh, my solder's not flowing. And then they'll try to focus in on the solder to get it to actually melt. And that usually melts their bezel. And so you gotta remember that whenever you're soldering things, you need to heat up the most mass first. And so the most mass is this back plate. And so we're gonna focus our flame on really heating up this back plate. I'm trying to avoid staying in one place for too long. And so I'm just aiming at the outside edge of this actual back plate. And this is 24 gauge sheet. And that's 925 silver, and then the bezel is 999 silver. And so I'm gonna just keep heating this up. And we're gonna get it close to soldering temperature. And then if you're unsure what soldering temperature looks like, this is where chip soldering really helps. Is you're gonna keep heating this up until you notice those chips start to melt. And just because you don't see them melting right away, or it's not moving fast enough, don't worry about it. Just keep your flame moving. You're gonna hit the inside, but keep your flame moving. Don't let your bezel overheat. You can see that one chip went. You're just gonna keep making sure that this whole thing heats up. You can see it's starting to melt. Keeping our flame moving always. Okay. Don't let our bezel get too hot. If it gets too hot, just take it away. There it is. You can see it start to flow at the top there. But this is why I like stick soldering, because I can actually come in here now that I know it is hot enough, and I can touch right on the seam where I need it to flow. I can do the outside here. I can do up here. And you'll see that halo flow. You can see that it's not down here, so we're gonna add just a little solder there. And now all the way around, that solder is flow. So if you're not sure on where temp is, try some chip soldering for a little bit until you get the hang of it. Just make sure your flame is constantly moving, otherwise you're gonna melt that bezel.